Something good gonna happen in this year, and I am grateful that I made it here. Yes, Blessings gonna find me here. Oh yeah. Favor gonna find me here. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I miss money gonna find me here. Blessings gonna find me here. Oh na 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 na.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another LYFE Forum. LYFE Forum. I am Pastor B. I'm Pastor B. I'm Pastor B. Let's go ahead and meet more of our panelists for tonight. We've got babe, how do I do that? Child.
Oh, I need him and he needs me to survive. Look at this. It's me, but he's got the handles tonight. We are so grateful to have you all. What would he do without me? Yes.
Well,
What would he do?
What would I ever?
Yeah. So grateful to
What
right. We wouldn't do nothing, right? If we wasn't together, we'll leave it just like that. But we've got some other individuals that are joining us, and we want to get them connected on tonight. Your host is Brian Morris, but I am the other version of him, which is Shazetta Morris. And so we got from Delaware joining us, Bernicia Jackson. Ah, hello.
Hey guys,
How you doing?
I'm good. My sinuses are like, they trying me. My sinuses are trying my life. They just like about an hour ago. I'm like, no.
Yes.
Immediately, no.
Immediately, no. I got you.
I have a migraine.
Oh,
poor
Lord.
thing. Okay, listen. Well, we're not going to try to work your brain too much, so that, because sometimes we could do that, and your migraine will be doubled, and we don't care either, right? But
I hate that it looks like I'm in the dark. This is dumb.
We're gonna lay off of you a little bit tonight, and we are going to Texas. Then we're going to come back to Florida. Our birthday boy is joining us tonight.
If it's your birthday, make some noise.
If it's your birthday, make some noise.
Hey.
If it's your birthday, it's your birthday.
Hey.
It's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Yes.
Hey.
You better be young and thriving, sir.
Yes, ma'am. I'm the A, the
Yes.
A, and the M. How y'all doing?
Happy birthday,
Yes,
Prophet.
it's my born day.
Yeah, and you know what? We didn't realize that you and Brian Morris were 4 days apart. His birthday is Sunday.
Really? I knew there was something anointed about him. I knew it. He was born in my week.
Mm-hmm. And when Brian said it, I said, "Oh my God! Oh no! This is why we get this overload. We feel like we sandwiched in between."
I said, this makes sense.
Well, happy pre-birthday, Bishop.
Thank you, and happy birthday, birthday to you, sir.
It's a great day. I am trying. I learned, realized early on. I met Stephanie in 2013, and in 2014, I realized that my birthday for the rest of my life is going to be half hers.
Colleagues will come to help. They're just trying to wake you up.
Hey, what we got? Who we got? We got background noise somewhere.
Who's watching anime?
I don't know about anime, but Bluey is definitely in my living room.
Somebody is on. Listen, Prophet, the saints are saying happy birthday to you on the YouTube side. They're saying happy birthday.
Happy birthday to me. Thank you.
Happy birthday to you.
To everybody who sent a text or anything to me. Blessings to y'all. I mean, listen, the Bible said I can command a blessing. Listen, and I command one on y'all. Can I tell y'all that today y'all have been so kind to me today, and all of it has been such a blessing. And I am determined to be even more loud,
Yes,
and
yes, yeah.
and compassionate to y'all, and to love y'all, and whether it's a push or it's a pull. If I gotta push you in or drag you in, I promise I'm gonna do my best to love y'all the way Jesus wants me to love y'all and get y'all where y'all need to be, so that we can all get to where we need to be. I got people on this live right now, and others, sometimes they pull me, sometimes they push me. I might not like their methods, but they're effective.
Listen, let me tell you something. That was a setup for I'm coming the way that I'm coming, and I still don't like it. Let me tell you. Okay, so here is my pushback. You can set yourself up all day long with this push and pull, but I ain't having it. Now,
listen, you got your nerve, ma'am. You are the coach who pushes and pulls better than anybody.
Right, okay.
Hold on. You're the passive aggressive apostle.
I am not.
You have that Negro, you going all the way to your purpose, and I don't give a dang how you feel about it. You just say it in a kinder tone.
Yeah, that's how I said it yesterday. Keep on moving.
Yeah.
Keep on moving, don't stop. No, I gotta listen to you gotta show us all the videos in combination, because I didn't hear B's video. I didn't hear Brianna's video. So and I didn't hear my husband's video. I just sent them. So I got to hear all the videos.
First
off, I was asking, did she post it? She didn't post it?
No, she hasn't posted it yet. Bishop, I don't appreciate you cutting off my blessing. You were in the middle of blessing me. And did you say your dog walked in?
I got to see that.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Teddy Mustang. I could see him doing that.
I did. I was in the middle of a whole flow, and then all of a sudden Teddy walked in, and I'm like,
he's like, bless you, man.
I love it. No,
Teddy stole the show, not today.
And so I want to repeat.
It was like, that's enough. That's enough.
Yeah, Teddy shut off my Jesus moment, and I want it fixed.
I did my video like 5 times because I'm very literal, and I was like, "Oh, she said only 30 seconds." So I'm like,
I missed that part.
Hold on. Brianna's trying to get in here. She's like,
"Oh, is she?"
Yes. She like nobody trying to let her in.
Okay, wait, hold on. I'm gonna get her. You go ahead and continue, because actually I got to jump off so that I can jump on this other thing. So I'm not gonna hang out with you all tonight, but I definitely wanted to make sure that I saw everybody's face. Adam, we got you. Just keep hearing that in every level, in every way. We got you. I don't know if I thought that you was as old as you are. I said, Dad, you're getting old.
Oh, no, yeah. No, you always had me by, what was it,
5 years?
5 years?
5 years, yeah. So
you're just old in Jesus.
Oh, my God.
You know what I mean? It's only Jesus.
Only Jesus.
Everybody
I
knows
wish I could stay to spar with you tonight, but I can't. I wish I could, because I would, but not tonight. Let me get Brianna in, and
listen, I got something for you and Bishop by the weekend, and then we can spar.
Okay, well, we'll do that then. We will do that, because that's how we got to roll. I'm going to get Brianna in, and then as soon as she gets in and I say hey to her, I'm going to jump off, and I'm going to watch this later. But you all are going to have listen, I'm so excited about this conversation. To those of you that are joined, listen, we want you to like and share. Let me tell you why I want you to like, because it gives information, put some information out in the atmosphere so that people can say, what's going on over there? We need to pay attention. But if you are a creative, you really need to share. This topic tonight is about creatives in the church, and all that you see up on this screen right here is creatives in the church. And can't nobody talk about creativity and how creativity works and functions like these creatives. Some of you have been silenced creatives. Some of you don't know what to do with your creativity. You don't know how to express your art. And in the most freeing space, being free in the Holy Ghost doesn't always mean free. And so we want to talk about that. And they've got some pointed conversation information tonight that I believe that will benefit you. And so like and share, like and share, like and share, like and share. Put it out there, like and share. Get it out to the audience. We want to get additional individuals, and we love our YouTube audience because our YouTube audience is growing, and we appreciate you all for being here on this end. We are also on Facebook. We're also on TikTok. We don't know what TikTok is going to do. It's on and off all the time. So we're everywhere that we are supposed to be at this moment. And at some point, we're going to jump on Instagram so that individuals can be connected via that way as well. But do it again. Like and share, like and share, like and share. Get some more people connected to this process. And then, yes, get some more people connected to this process so that we can get some more individuals invited or included in this conversation. I'm going to jump off. Let's get Brianna in here. Pastor B, the show is yours.
All right. Well, our discussion today is like
Bishop, I can't see your forehead. Can you can they change this thing so that it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, like going up and down?
I'm trying to figure out how to, because for some reason.
Wait, let me jump back on. Let me tell you what happened. This thing has a podcaster view or a wide view. And because Brian Morris did not know that he needed to change the view before he went live, it landed podcaster view. So if we change the view, we have to stop
lose everybody
and do it again. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to remember next time.
You just refuse to do your homework before you get on like Apostle X. It's crazy.
Listen, preparation.
He just refuses. He just refuses.
Call it out, B. Call it out.
Here's the thing.
Call it out. I'm jumping off.
Yeah. Oh, see,
Right. That's okay, Apostle.
See, what happened was that
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Bree.
I'm here. Good evening.
How are
good
you?
Afternoon. Good night. Happy birthday, Adam. I'm going to say everything I've been needing to say for the past 20 minutes because all of y'all was ignoring me. Yes, Apostle is passive aggressive because I told her that my link wasn't working. She's talking about try again, sis. I did that. I did it twice.
You better come back to cancel people. Come
Hey,
on.
listen, Coach. You're going, Coach. You're gonna have to make a decision. You are in or out.
We can still hear you, Bree.
No,
oh, okay.
I'm going out. I just wanted to make my face seen. Yeah. I am not passive aggressive, ma'am.
You look good.
Thank you. And I only said try again because sometimes we do have to try
again.
Receive that word all over the screen.
Hey.
All over the screen.
I tried for the Holy Trinity, Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost.
And you finally got in, right?
No, this was the 5th time.
Oh, the grace of God.
Brianna Jackson, I love you. I am so confident that this conversation tonight is going to be a screen, but it's going to be some necessary information. You all grab it, and we will see you all later.
Yes.
I'm
back. I'm back. Hey, y'all.
The psalmist Aaliyah said, if at first you don't succeed, huh?
Yeah.
Try.
Come on,
dust yourself off. You said the Aaliyah version.
Yeah.
Okay, so tonight we are talking about church creatives and the church, and I feel like this is going to be an awesome conversation to have, because I think one thing that makes us all similar is that we are church creatives. Let me ask you, do you consider yourself a church creative?
No.
Yourself church creatives?
No, thank you.
Most of us are
foundationally, yes, you are. Stop.
We find ourselves, we found ourselves in church, born in it. I'm in it, but not of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Foundationally.
Hey, 7.
Okay. I understand what you're saying, but so I consider myself a church creative only because of the fact that a lot of my training came from church settings. So
the foundation. Yes.
So when I go into other venues and other spaces, I kind of carry that training along with me in those spaces. It's not to say that I am specifically designated or specifically in a space to where I'm pigeonholed in the church. But I just know that a lot of the training that I have, that I've seen so many people pay for, it came from the church.
Got it.
So they're like, okay, like, well, how can you do this? How you know that you don't have a degree or nothing like that? And like, no, like it just came from the church. So that's where from the standpoint of that, I do consider myself a church creative, because my creativity was brought up or raised up in the church, and it extends out forward. But I am not pigeonholed into the church.
Got it.
So, Bree, now you had a whole like resounding no. Is that true for you when you heard what I just said?
Yeah, it's true for me. I really just want to say no, thank you, because I just felt like it went well. But no, I feel the same way you feel. Yeah, it's definitely the foundation of, but yeah, it ain't always just that.
Right.
Other things too. And I don't want to be made to feel guilty for it, because I know coming up in church, or that being your foundation, you're always made to feel guilty about being a creative outside of church.
Yeah.
And it's like at the end of the day, I can't help who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And us suppressing that, it sucks for us. It sucks for us. And then it starts running to the whole depression ordeal and things of that sort. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point that you just made, and we definitely gonna touch on that point soon. So I was when I was thinking about church creatives, and I was thinking about exactly how how those things can maneuver in our space and develop us. Because again, like I said, I was developed in church. Like, I was a church baby. Those people taught me. They taught me how to sing. They taught me how to work a room. They taught me how to ad lib. They taught me a whole bunch of things. They taught me how to act. They taught me how to do several things. So my other piece is that how important is the creative arts in church? And anybody who has any certain level of questions or comments, you guys can are in the conversation too. How important is the creative arts in church? What do you think?
I was gonna answer the original question. I mean, I think I'm sorry. Never mind.
No, go ahead.
It's
Go ahead.
very. I was just saying about my as far as my creativity. I don't think that my creativity did not start in church. Honestly. Never mind. It did. Okay. I did. When I was 5 years old, and I told you guys this story before. When I was 5 years old, me and my sister used to have it started when I was like maybe 7. Me and my sister had a group. We were this little singing group. we were the Jackson sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And we only went to church on Sunday. We sang. It was our church we grew up in did not have a music ministry. So my grandma would teach us a song. She would not go to church with us. She would send us to church. So every Sunday, but that was the extent. But I stopped going to that church when I was probably like maybe 9, 8, maybe like 8. I stopped going, but I've always been in choir. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I've always been in choir, like involved in any type of like theater project. That's just always been me. But I feel like creativity, to go back to your second question, Brian, I'm sorry, I'm going off a tangent because somebody just interrupted me. I feel like it's important. There's unfortunately people try to work a ministry without music, and I'm not saying that it can't be effective, but we are musically motivated people.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
You just listen to talk radio. Some people like talk radio, but after a while, it's like I don't. Can we? What can you say? Can you say something else?
yeah.
Change your tone.
You know what else? What else can you do? What else can you do? But I agree. I agree with you that that for me that the creative arts in church is so important and is such a needed piece to the church and ministry puzzle. And we can't get out of it. I think that we try to, and I think that we try to, and I know they don't mean. I know they mean well, and I feel like that they don't mean anything by it, but it can come off offensive because people try to minimize the responsibility of try to minimize the responsibility.
Brian, let Adam in.
I'm trying to let them in.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to break your conversation. I didn't know if you seen it.
I see no. Um, I didn't know he left. Well,
I
Adam,
didn't know he had to be let in.
yeah, I thought, yeah,
Usually when you turn the camera off and turn it back on, it'll let you pop like right back in.
Oh,
But
you're
maybe,
backstage.
okay.
yeah.
But I don't know. Lord, you okay?
Do you see him backstage?
I see him. I see him. Yeah. Hold on. Adam, I'm not sure, brethren.
Uh-oh.
He might need to exit and come back.
Can you exit and come back?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, he's
Oh, we can
backstage.
hear him.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, you can see him. I'm just trying to figure out how come the camera's not working.
Oh, y'all can hear me, but y'all can't
Yeah, we
see
can
me?
hear you.
well,
Yeah.
maybe you need to turn your camera on.
Camera on.
Nah, my camera was good. Hold on. Camera.
Yeah.
That was happening to me last week too. So
Okay. All right, Adam, try coming
but anyway.
try coming out and coming back in. So what so what where was I at? So where so
I'm sorry.
where was I at? My brain. Okay, so I don't think they don't mean any harm by it, but I have seen ministries minimize
Yeah.
the importance of music ministry. Almost kind of like, we don't, ain't nothing, there's nothing, the word is the most important, although we understand that the word is the most important thing, but we've also got to understand that with the word, the Lord brought music and brought certain levels of creativity in order for the word to be properly accepted. So the so creativity, music, the arts, it it really helps in order to properly lubricate the atmosphere in order for the word to be accepted. That's why and I'm not going to play it today because I don't like because this portrait thing messed me up. But it was another portion of your play that I'm going to play next week where it was about, and which I loved, and it seemed like you had the most problems with, was the couple. And I thought their scene was excellent because it showed something in Adam. I see you. Can you talk? Can I hear? Adam, can I see? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but I can't see you, brother.
It's that pop-up question, that little thing that comes up about the camera. That's what was happening to me. I had to keep waiting for it to click back up because it wasn't letting me click it. It's like a little pop-up question, like about allowing pop-ups.
Okay. Okay.
Did you get the question about the camera yet?
No.
No, I'm just I'm in purgatory over here.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Can you hear?
I can hear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
let's
okay. So listen. So on my picture, we'll try this one more time. On my picture, at the top of my picture, there's like 3 dots. Can you see that?
there's 3 dots.
Oh,
Yeah.
for the video settings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Either double that or double click on my picture or right click. It should give you a to bring me on stage or something.
Yeah, it's supposed to, but it's not. For some reason it's not doing it.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna stay on. I'll just talk from here.
Okay. Okay. Um so our responsibility is our responsibility based upon what I was I talking about. Okay. I was talking about your theater piece. What I enjoyed about it so much was that it gave so much key insight in a outlook on what people experience in their everyday life that necessarily a message will not necessarily be able to bring or even be able to minister necessarily always effectively, but it was through the way that you kind of conveyed, that couple's plight and the situation that they had in that skit that really that could touch people who will probably never speak on what they on that piece that they deal with on a regular basis, and that you giving them scripture won't necessarily always fix. So that's one thing that I did appreciate about it, and I think that the creative arts brings to the table. It speaks to the soul. It speaks to the soul and to the mind of so many people. Like I said, that the message per se that the preach word won't always get to.
Mhm.
That people might not necessarily feel a message, but they'll feel a song, because at the end of the day, music is the universal language. And if we can't hear a message, or like you said, even hear a podcast, we can hear a song. We can always say that a song has touched us, a song has ministered to us, a song has led us to a space of some level of wholeness and freedom that a message or a preach word could probably not always bring. You know what I'm
Because the arts illuminate, things are illuminated through music, through even with reading, if even if it's like spoken word, sometimes you need to be able to see it differently. Like when I read something, I can see it. Like
Mhm.
anything that I read, it illuminates. So that's what the arts will do. Dance too, like dance is
Yeah,
interpretive, most of the time. So
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I also feel like it's important in the church because of the lack of creativity that's taking place in our communities, specifically in our schools. Um, it feels like, it not feels like, it is that the creative arts has been on a steep decline. And when I was doing my research about it, as far as the statistics, it's been on a steep decline since the 80s. And I remember a time where we had so many creative arts pieces when it came to our school. Um, be we're from Chester. We're from Chester, Pennsylvania, 20 minutes outside of Philadelphia. Be I know that you would remember the parades that we used to have in Chester High School had some of the best bands. What had probably one of the best bands around. And
Honey, Chester High had the best band. Let's be clear. The 2 blocks it took
right,
up, like,
it's like when the
like
parade came,
period.
we could not wait to see Chester High's band march down the street, and they would kill. And it's like but it seemed at one point it started to dwindle down year after year after year after year, until a point to where it seems like, from an overall standpoint, the school specifically, is that the percentage of schools now really don't have many options when it comes to the creative arts. Now that's if you don't go to a special school or school of the arts that has that space. Hey, there you go. There you go.
Oh, listen, I think Coach
Pop up
She,
because I popped out.
yep,
Oh yeah.
probably.
Y'all gotta change the way the videos are
I think it's
presented.
the view.
It's the view.
It's the view.
View,
It's
and
the view.
I hate
There
it.
we go.
Okay, no problem, no
Yeah,
problem.
There you
there
go.
we go. Okay, perfect.
No,
We
we
all
out here.
we all here.
I'm gonna
We
pop
out
back
here.
on. I just need
No,
to
we
do
Where you
something.
go?
We lost it.
No. I said I'm gonna
Oh
pop
my
right back on. I just need to do something really quick, but I'm still here.
Okay.
Don't be doing that. We all celebrating the
Got
back
this
new
together,
video.
sis.
I'm coming back.
We
Well,
just got this together.
I totally agree. You know, it's crazy. I was wondering. I believe that the change in creative stuff leaving literally happened when the church left Hollywood.
Mm.
When the church left Hollywood and there was no more voice and they could put anything up there, and you'll find that whatever the church writes off begins to die. And like for instance, everybody in here went to Sunday school. And back in Sunday school, the Sunday school teachers would take the time, and they didn't just read from the King James Bible when they taught Sunday school lessons. They gave visual presentations because they were trying to make the kids see in their mind what the preacher could only say over the pulpit.
Yeah.
And so the Sunday school was our version of creative arts back then. It was like, oh my God. And then when were the only times we had visual presentations? Christmas and Easter.
Mm-hmm.
The story of baby Jesus, and then the story of Easter. And so they began to move those visual presentations out of the church, just like they moved prayer out of the schools. Whenever you start moving things that stimulate the brain is going to, I don't want to say die, but there's going to be a deficit there.
Yeah.
And so that's where, that's creative arts is where we found out who could sing or not. That's where you found out. Now watch this. Ain't it funny that in a choir, they didn't remove the choir. And so even if you can't sing, you can harmonize.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you can't sing, you can tell who ain't got no voice whatsoever.
Yeah.
But they kept the choir, but they lost the visualization, almost like drama brought sin. That's what it kind of feels like, don't it? Sometimes that the more you do drama is the more you get into your flesh and the more you're acting, and now you can't worship the Father in spirit and in truth. I don't know. It just sounds like garbage to me. But when you look at all the gifts that the creative arts are responsible for, I could talk about the singers, I could talk about the choir, but let's go to the most important one. How can a preacher preach without being dramatic?
Right.
How can a preacher preach without being passionate?
Yes.
True.
He got that. That's part of the creative arts. And it was, I feel, y'all help me, tell me if I'm wrong, I'll receive it. I feel like the creative arts was stolen from the church by the church. I can't blame this on Satan. I can't put this on the devil. I gotta put it on the church because everybody dropped the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody dropped it. All right. Bree, maybe you don't know about this, but Brian and Bernicia, do y'all remember midnight musicals?
Yes. Yeah.
Y'all remember
Oh, yeah.
the late night shows after
Yeah.
convocation services?
Yes.
These were
Yeah.
right. These were
Just the shut-ins. Just the shut-ins.
Huh?
I was around for shut-ins.
Oh yeah. So we can pray, but we can't sing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, so what would happen is we would get, the young people would get a chance to entertain and be entertained without the necessity of the King James.
Hmm.
And so we could sing about the gospel. We could act about the gospel. We would do things. But you know what? These were the times that we were allowed to go skating. These were the times, you know what? I feel like the church decided that entertaining the young people was carnal.
Well, that's
Trying to keep us around was carnal.
that's
the reason. How many of us know of friends who couldn't wait to turn 18 so they could leave the church? They couldn't wait for it. And it's like, and now we're at a place where the gifts that God gave us, right? Now we got to try to figure out how to get God back to people our way. And the creatives say, I got to use what God gave me. Like the woman said, the prophet said, what's in your house?
Yeah.
What? Tell me what you got. Give me something I can work with. And it's like, ooh. Let me say this last one, then I'm gonna shut up. Okay. Last one, right? So y'all listen. This was I'm giving you a heads up, Brian. I am inviting you and Shazetta on the prophetic evolution on a date. Y'all can decide, because I had a question. The Bible says that your gift or your creative space is going to make room for you, right? Yes. And bring you into the presence of great men. It meant that your gift, you don't need a hookup. All you need to do is exercise what God gave you. And I think that people who have not mastered their creative spaces will fight against people who are simply gifted, because they don't want that door opened for us. That's all I gotta say on that.
That's a good point, Adam. I think that from what you said, you said something a little earlier that really was a good point, because there are times where it feels like that the church does put limitations on the creativity of the creatives that are in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is that it always feels like the church. Well, if we got to be honest, the church is always behind. Can we just be honest? The church is always behind. Apostle Daniels always says, talks about being on the cutting edge of things, being on the leading edge of things. But it always seems like the church specifically kind of tends to, well, we've got to vet it, and we've got to like do this, we got to do that. But the fact is that most of that stuff that we see in the mainstream really started, or was at least trying to get presented, in the churches.
Yes, exactly.
The churches said, we don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
So then they're like, okay, well then they move into this space where they're going to be received, because because like we talked about last week, in some level of space, that there are creatives that just feel like I need to do it. I need to get it out of me. I need to do it. I need to get it out of me. It's not just something that I do. It's just something but it's who I am. So they're going to go into spaces that are going to be received. That's why we got that's why we got certain people, and then they would say, well, they left the church. Well, they didn't leave the church. They didn't want to leave the church. And what they don't understand is that they never left God. They just left an institution or a space that did not accept their concept of creativity.
And here's the problem. This is why creatives are fined, titled, and criminalized for our church rejection. But we need to remember that nobody knows how to reject a gift like the church.
Mm-hmm.
The church kicked Jesus out the synagogue.
Mm.
Like the church didn't want God's greatest gift. So we shouldn't be surprised. And God told us, don't be surprised when they don't want you.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want me either. And
Mm-hmm.
so I almost feel like maybe, oh, come on. Maybe rejection is the rite of passage to the creative.
Mm.
Mm.
Have y'all noticed that most of your best creative moments happen when you're alone?
Yep.
That's when you write the best, sing the best. You think your most creative spaces in those spaces. And so maybe rejection is our right. Maybe it's our privilege because every creative, they have to go inside first. They have to go inside first. How do I take my pain, my frustration, my negative stories? How do I take them and make them work for me? How do I take the weapon that hell used against me and make it something that blesses people? Bernicia, you just did it a month ago. It's let me write about somebody else's pain so that somebody else can see this story and know how I can get through. The church doesn't, the church as a conglomerate, the church universally hasn't wanted the creatives until they needed a flyer or a commercial, or they needed a sermonic solo, or they needed somebody who didn't look that gay but could take the church up on a song. That's that garbage right there. But it's so real. They keep on picking and choosing creativity by holiness and what they think is holy. Let me tell y'all something. I'm not going to prophesy on here tonight, but let me tell you about something God. I was going to give her this word after we talk tonight. After we talk tonight, I was going to give her this word. But this word was about Bernicia.
Okay, come on.
So
Amen.
I was in prayer. I was in my prayer time today, right? And was just talking to the Lord about some things. And God said to me, Adam, a lot of people don't even know what I think about them.
Mm.
And that's one of the reasons why they can't be everything they need to be, because they don't know how I think about them. Y'all, please don't miss the prophetic evolution tonight. My wife is decorating our house for my birthday party online or something. Woo! Don't miss it. Anyway, so I'm praying. God says some people don't even know how I think about them, and that's the reason why they can't come into the fullness of what they need to do. I said, what are you talking about? He showed me Bernicia, and Bernicia was dressed like a nun. Bernicia was dressed like a nun, and I said to God, "She ain't no nun. She don't even act like it. Not even a little bit. That is not. She is an undercover thug. You know it." And God said,
I might be a nun.
What?
I said I might be a nun.
No. Let me tell you what God said. God said, "Adam, that's what I mean." I said, "What?" He said, "You saw the outfit and you thought I was talking about a nun." He said, "I showed you the gift." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Bernicia's gift is holy."
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
I felt that. He said,
Yeah.
her gift is holy. Her gift is special to me. It is set apart to me. You saw none. I saw her gift as sacred. When you think of nuns, you think of sacred, pure, chaste. God said, that's how she is to me. That's how I see her. He said, and if you want to be more effective in your gift, Adam, when I show you somebody, ask me what the picture means.
Yeah.
That'll speak more to your creative space. Glory to God. So sometimes we look at people and we hear them, right? But now that God explained it to me, I remember the story y'all told me about when y'all saw Bernicia. She came in, they asked her to do something, she did it, and everybody broke. She can break a room with her pain. She can break a room with what she went through. Her testimony is world shattering.
Amen.
But we don't see it because we only see the nun.
Come on, we're gonna let you yell because
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Only because it's your birthday.
We only see the nun. And God said to me, he said, Adam, her gift is holy to me. He said, and if you, hallelujah.
I love that.
Come on, God, let me get through this. Try not to cry. God said, he said, and if you let her gift be holy to you, her gift will open and change your life. That's for every creative on here. Yeah. The gift in a creative is holy.
The gift in a creative is holy.
Hold on. Stop. Let's stop there. Because that leads into a question that I have for the panel and for those who are in the comment section. Now, if God says that your gift or your creativity is holy, how many of us carry our gift as it's holy? And when I say holy, I'm talking about set apart. I'm talking about it being set apart, it being specifically for a certain level of use, a certain we see it at a certain capacity or a certain level of value. How many of us really honor our creativity, or we're just so used to it being with us that we just kind of lackadaisical with it without really taking on the responsibility of it. I know
Definitely
for me,
that.
I know I'm guilty of that. I know I know I'm so used to doing and being used to doing and being whatever or whoever I am, that it's not until somebody sees it for the first time, or somebody's not used to me, that that they have to really explain to me sometimes the gravity of what I have, because I don't see it because I'm always doing it.
Right. It's like somebody walking into your house and they're blown away by what your house looks like, but you live there all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The church that I do worship at now recently it's the church's name the Bethel Church Miami, and
Mm.
the apostle that's there, his name is Apostle Carlos Malone. Is amazing, amazing man. Like I'm just like I came in there to do to do a job that they asked me to do, but I'm being blessed.
Mm.
I'm just being blessed just being there. And he said to me on one Sunday, he said, we was we were done praise and worship, and he said, Pastor Bryant, and he said, if you only knew the value of what you carry, your walk would be different.
Mm.
And when I tell you that thing hit me like a ton of bricks because it was very simple, but
Mhm.
I realized, but it also made me think of who am I if I really took it seriously? What would I look like? What would I really be? What would my track of life look like if I really tap into or I really see myself the way that God sees me?
Mm.
Yeah. You, sir. Um, it's like, okay, so everybody knows biblically that musicians and singers were part of the Levitical order.
Yeah.
That's one way of putting it. The other way of putting it, they were part of the Levitical priesthood. That's who they served. So they were part of the priesthood. But what happened was they disconnected the singers and the musicians from the priesthood, right?
Yeah.
That's what the church has done. But
Yeah.
we all know this. If the preacher gets arrogant and the musicians and the singers leave,
Mhm.
you ain't got no atmosphere.
Yeah.
Mm.
The word of God can make it on its own,
Yeah.
but you ain't got no atmosphere and you need it.
Yeah.
The preachers don't want to admit, I need my singers. I need my musicians. They help build an atmosphere and they begin the process of breaking yokes
Mhm.
before I get up to preach. I think that I think you may need to, Bishop. It's fun. That's why I'm calling you by your title, right? Because because you can't be called a singer anymore. That's why I'm so excited for you, because you will correspond to your title. And
Mhm.
because they call you according to your title as a singer and a psalmist, that's one thing. But this application that's about to happen, this process is going to be great. Now that if everybody understood that we were part of the priesthood and
Yeah.
that we were working together with the sermonist for each service, I
Mhm.
believe that they would begin to take it more seriously.
Mhm.
Instead of, and we've all seen the pastor get up to preach and the musicians walk off the stage. We've all seen it.
Mhm.
But we're supposed to be up there because it's our time to assist. And back to you, let me flip the question back to you, Bishop,
Mhm.
because you asked the question. Let me turn it back to you. What do you think? How do you think musicians would react, singers would react if they knew the value of what they carried? For instance, here's my example. You have had the pleasure of singing around some of the greatest worshipers I know.
Mhm.
When you see people, Hobbs came to mind, right? When you see Darwin Hobbs, when you see McDowell, when you see people like this in a flow, do you think they know what they carry? And if they told you they didn't, would it shock you?
It would. it from an onlooker standpoint or from a consumer standpoint, it would shock me. It would shock me that they wouldn't know. But I guess if I looked at them in a peer standpoint, I could understand if they say no, I really don't.
That's the question. That was the example, the question I was about to ask, because I was going to ask it also to Bernicia. So why? So B and Bree, y'all, I don't know if Bree, do you write poetry or plays or anything?
Just music.
Just music. Okay. So Bernicia,
Then you write poetry, but go ahead.
Okay.
You're right.
So there is no difference. I know I'm in the Holy Ghost tonight. That's why I was like, so
You're right.
Okay, so Bernicia, Sister B, if you walked into a room and met Tyler Perry, do you realize you are meeting your peer?
Absolutely.
Okay. A lot of people don't know that. We are in the same room with people, and we are idolizing peers.
I get your point. I get your point.
What are we amazed at? We're not amazed at their gift because we have the same one. We're amazed at what they were able to do with their gift, how they were able to utilize that creative space. And y'all listen, if I'm being absolutely honest with you, I think that's my struggle. It's not a struggle with being around peers, because I'm creative like them, anointed like them. I don't know how to utilize and manage my gift to open it up in a mass space.
Yeah.
I think that's my struggle. And I believe that that's most of our struggles, because it's not that we can't break open a room or a stadium for that matter. But after it's over, because we don't have somebody to open the door for us, to put us in a space where we can do that, we kind of sit down, because the work that's required to reproduce our gift on a massive scale just seems daunting to begin.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Go ahead, B. No, go ahead.
I was going to say that I like what Adam said, but I also believe that everyone, like, I get what you're saying about us, everybody being a peer, but we also have to keep in mind that on some level there are teachers and there are students. Tyler, I feel like Tyler Perry and himself, good, bad, or indifferent, what people have to say about him, he has mastered many levels of the creative stream. He knows the front end and the back end. He doesn't just know the stage. He also knows film. He doesn't just know film, he knows how to produce. Like, he can work the camera, he can do all ends of it. So I feel like on that, at him in particular, as a person that can be identified as a peer and a teacher, I just feel like we can never walk in. Now, I feel like we should all have the confidence. That's why I said I agree with you. To walk into a room and be like, I'm just as great as these men, but still keeping in mind that I'm not as great as
right,
these
or
men.
not be arrogant. Right, exactly.
Yeah, it's a thin line between confidence and arrogance, and we talked about that before. But so the humility still has to be there, because you always have to remain teachable. And I think that these microwave creatives, you did one good run in church or did one good lick on the drums. Now you out here acting like something. What you doing?
Right.
You mastered the Jasmine Sullivan Run Challenge, and now you think you the holy grail of musician of musical note references. Like, one thing I will say about my brother who is no longer here, Relius Palmer. Rel was grand, but he was also humble at the same time. Because Rel could sing you under the pew, over the pew, through the pew, if you needed him to. But he would sing at a garage if you asked him.
As long as he don't have to share a mic.
Listen, as long as he had his own mic. That man is crazy, and I miss him. But there are some people who, again, did one good. You had one good presentation. You went viral off of one little clip, and now you acting like something. Now you got flyers up, want to host conferences and offer. I'm available for praise and worship. If you, babe, you sang one song.
But B, that's I guess fortunately and unfortunately. And I say those two things because I guess I'm going to work those two pieces. Is that on the unfortunate side, it's that's the kind of culture that we live in, because with everything that you can access at the scroll of a finger, you can literally build a career off of a reel.
Yes, sir.
Of a 40-second reel, you can build a career off of, and people are flying you out. Because they feel like that you have this capacity to be able to do so much more. I think on the fortunate side of that, though, I also feel like it's fortunate because people have the ability now to not be kept in this position to where they've got to kowtow to people who are trying to build a structure that says I'm only letting certain people in. That I'm now exposed to a greater I'm now exposed to the multitude by way of my own ability to be able to share, rather than me having to wait for you or to have to cater to you or to kowtow to you in order for you to be able to let me in. And I think that's part of the problem. We see that in so many different spaces where record labels and things like that are going out of. They're just declining because of the fact that people are now indie artists, because now Instagram, TikTok, all of these spaces, I don't need you to promote me. I can just turn on my phone, boom, there I am.
Yeah.
I really don't need you to edit anything for me, because the more we move through technology, people are literally editing like master editings off of their phone. If you know how, if you're not using, I'm watching on YouTube, people are literally creating movies and cartoons and things from their house. They don't need to. They don't need to go to these different things. They're cutting out the middleman in order to do it. So I think I think from that space it's important. But I also believe that it's important for us to have the wisdom to understand dimensional, and this word came to my mind when you talk about doors, dimensions. Although we're doing the same thing, when we go back to William McDowell and Darwin Hobbes, although we could be doing the same thing, there's a dimension that they're in that I have yet to get to. And that's where, like you said, B, the student and the teacher piece come in, because I can't be so overly and I think that's where a lot of people are right now. They become overly arrogant, and I don't take that away from them, because I also do believe that we're in a generation now where people are just tired of sucking up to people to get through and to get by. They're like, you're gonna let me in. You're gonna kick this door in. You're gonna kick this door in. I don't care who you are. You're gonna let me in. That's just that generation now. But I also think that with that generation, it needs to balance itself to understand that, like you said, there are teachers and there are students, and at some point, you got to allow yourself to be taught in order for you to be able to get into that door.
Remain teachable. Oh my God. You have to. Don't close your portal. Don't do it.
Say it again. Don't close your
teachable.
hold on. You said
Don't close your portal.
That'll
Don't close your portal.
And
Don't do
oh my
it.
God! And I just and real quick, Adam, I just watched a video today. It was, I believe that was Tasha Cobb's husband, Tasha that talked about it, and he was like, if you don't do anything else, whether you no matter what you're doing as a creative, one thing you need to protect is your access.
Mm.
Because one thing that can make you or break you is your ability to have or not have access.
Mm-hmm.
And access is something that money would never be able to buy. So he was talking about he was like there was this one musician. He told a story about this one musician who was he was a bass player, amazing bass player. He played for like current groups or current singers that were in the area, but they invited him to a Tamala Man rehearsal. And although he knew what he knew, and also he probably thought he was better than the bass player that was playing, he sat down quiet. They didn't even Tamala didn't even know he was in the room until after the rehearsal, and she said, "Hey baby, how you doing?" He didn't say nothing. And he was like, and he was like, that was the most important thing that he did, was because although he might be the best in the room, he didn't have the access before.
Mm-hmm.
So now what you got to do is you got to be in a space to where now that you have new access into this space, you got to learn how to be humble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't. You have to.
Sitting on your couch.
Yeah, the most dangerous thing is being around somebody who believes in their gift more than they believe in God. Like one of the things that Bernicia was talking about when she was talking about humility is key, because you have to understand that even though God gave you the same gift he gave others, the way they're utilizing their gift and the fact that they're on stage for the moment means that you honor the fact that God gave them that space.
Yeah.
I really wish I could show y'all this video. Bishop, have you ever seen the video of Kim Burrell live in concert in Tennessee? Okay. Do you remember the victory song where the minister of the musical director was wilding out?
Like wilding out, like physically wilding out.
He was acting.
Yes.
He was doing all that, the chicken wing and all that stuff, right? So listen, it's the victory song. The victory song for Kim Burrell going into the intermission. When that happened, people that I know, that I spoke to from New York to Connecticut, they said that he would be untouchable for the next 3 years. Because he went on there, and y'all, I can't even explain it. Y'all just go watch Victory from the video. I hope we can play it next week so y'all can see it. Listen, when I tell you this man had mastered his gift.
Yeah.
He was playing 2 or 3 boards. He was amazing. The stuff he was playing as a musician, I was like, oh my God. He was incredible. But he was literally trying to outshine Kim Burrell.
Yeah.
And musicians that all over the nation were like, y'all, he's about to get grounded.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how I interpreted that. I'm sorry, Brian.
Baby.
Sometimes we can be around people that are like where we want to be, and we start crying loud, thinking that this is, oh, you see me? Do you see me? I'm over here. Yeah. You don't see me? Hello, you don't see me. And it comes off as arrogance.
Yeah.
When really they looking for a crack in the window so they can slide in real quick.
There were no 12-year-olds there were no 12-year-olds on that stage.
Yeah.
If we're talking 12 and teenagers, okay. But there was all grown folk on that stage. And the fact that you are singing on somebody else's big. Imagine you write in a play and you're in the middle of acting and somebody stands up, grabs your script and starts trying to do your play.
Yeah. We just gonna look at them.
That's that moment where you're like, have you lost your mind?
Ushers,
and
bring the seats.
Listen, it was crazy. He's a master at his gift, but watch this. I guess maybe this is a point. What happens when you master your gift and not you?
Ah, that's good. That's good. That's good because I think that what happens is that people tend to oversell their gift, although it can be wonderful, but they have not necessarily mastered structure and to be responsible for what you for one, your personality, your your integrity and what's fully been asked of you to do. One thing, and Bree, I don't know, I think I might have told you this before, and because I think I've told you this before. When I always go into a space, and to your point, Adam, about the Kim Burrell piece, is that whenever they tell me, like, okay, you sing from this time to this time, I make sure I sing from this time to this time because I respect the order that has been set.
Yes.
Could there be a move? Listen, I don't move from that space until whoever is in charge says, keep going.
Right. Yes,
but
sir.
You got people who are, but you got the people who kind of hit a wind, and because they hit a wind, they feel like they have authorization beyond the person who's in charge of the experience.
Mm-hmm.
And
they have divine override.
Right, they have a divine override. No. You always need somebody to say, keep going, or that's or that's enough. Those pieces, what I realized, and I learned that actually from Apostle, from Coach, because when I met her, she was the first time I met her, she was preaching at St. Mark. Shout out to Bishop Hannah, and she came for the end of the year revival.
Mm-hmm.
And she told us, she said, I'm only preaching for a certain amount of time because it's a school night. The kids got to go to bed. They have to go to work. I'll preach more on Friday. And she literally preached in the time frame she gave.
Yes.
And when I realized, and when I saw the fact that people respected her and honored her more for the fact that she was accountable and responsible rather than just being anointed, it drew more people to the experience. It'll draw more people to you when you have an honor system rather than just being amazingly creative. Are you anointed? Yes. Are you amazingly creative? Yes. But if you don't understand structure and you don't and you don't understand your responsibility to be able to maintain some level of kuf and order, you won't be suggested for anything.
Yeah, one of my original mentors, Gwendolyn Matthews, she believed in change. Mm-hmm. So she said, if I give you 10 minutes, give me back change. If I give you 10, you take 7 or 8 and give me back my change unless I tell you you can keep it.
Yeah.
And if I tell you you can keep it, then you go to 10. And when you hit 10, just glance to the side and I'll let you know if you've done or not. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, and it was called honoring the stage that you didn't build.
Yeah.
Honoring a platform that was before you.
Yeah.
And so So protocol and order, even amongst us creatives, is necessary.
It's necessary. I've always loved and be you've been to, like, we've been to a Tyler Perry play before, right? Like when he came to Philly.
Yeah, the church went. Yeah.
Yeah, Tyler Perry don't play.
No, we don't.
When he says he's starting at a certain time, he starts at that time. People
Absolutely.
still walking in or whatever like that. What I have noticed is that I think I've been to two Tyler Perry shows. What I did notice is that that people are running. Like Tyler Perry got people where they trying to run to their seat because
we go clown him
because they know that he starts on time, and if he comes out in that Medea suit and you still sitting down, you getting it.
Yeah. Nobody's safe.
Nobody's safe.
But I think as far as him as a creative, I think that people take him seriously because of the fact that he had some level of order and structure when it comes to his creativity. Mm-hmm. He's just not starting late. He's not keeping you late. I do that for my community choir right now. When we have rehearsals, and I try to and I'm like, okay, I'm rehearsing this time and I'm rehearsing to this time. If I'm not finished, I ask the choir, I'm like, is it okay if you give me 10 more minutes? And they can say yes or no. If they say no, I'll let them go. But if they say yes, I ask permission because I already gave them a verbal contract that said, I'm going to hold you from this time to that time. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That builds trust. That builds structure, and that builds trust to whoever's going to be a consumer of whatever you're giving as a creative.
Yeah, and I would like, if I'm going too far into something else that you want to talk about, then just pull me back and we'll deal with it at whatever time you have it in your schedule. But you know what I don't like? I have a real problem when people in charge, whether it be the head of an auxiliary or the pastor going up, they think that because they're giving you a church offering that you're an employee. I don't like that. I am not your employee. You ain't paying me hourly. I don't get no benefits or vacation from you. Mm-hmm. So what happens is they will ask you to be an hour early and then start a half hour late. Yeah. Now, I'm talking to New York churches, Pennsylvania churches, California churches. Y'all know the churches that don't want to start unless there's a decent number of people in the pew. You know what I mean? They don't want to go streaming and there's 13 people in church like that. We've had to like they expect you. They want to say you're serving God by serving them. Yeah. But they're not honoring your time either. And that dual honor in these spaces really annoys creative people. Because you know what church people don't know? What church people don't know is that creatives are in charge of their gift. And when I say it, I mean this. And all the creatives, y'all can thank me later because y'all know I'm telling the truth. I've seen creatives come up with flyers and commercials and memes that are out of this world, right? And then I've seen pissed off creatives copy and paste. Mm-hmm. Not creative. It's just a copy and paste because you're going to pay them the same money. When you dishonor the gift in anybody, that gift is liable to shut down on you. And it doesn't have to give you its best. I heard a prophet say, I prophesy when and if I want to. And everybody said he was out of order. But that's his gift. The gift is subjected to the prophet. So he's in total rights not to prophesy. He can do that, but that's is like if your gift is being dishonored. So what do we say? What do we say? And because all three of y'all are creative, what do y'all three say to the wounded creative? How do y'all encourage them not to shut down their creativity inside of them? I'm not talking about don't yield your gift and cast your pearls before swine. Don't yield your gift to people who are going to dishonor it in those spaces. But how do you keep yourself encouraged in spaces where your gifts are dishonored?
Get out of there. Listen, I learned the hard way. Like, get out of there. I was in an absolute dry place, and I could not figure out, like, I don't know. I ain't gonna say my whole life, but I've always had a strong gift in improvisation. So like a lot of people could, I've never really practiced anything. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Like, I've never really practiced anything. Like, I get an idea and I would just execute it. Like, I don't know how this is gonna turn out. Just follow me as I follow Christ.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. We all out here on this curb together, on this edge. Let's just take this trip. But when I had gotten to a place where I was not producing, or I was not able to hear or see anything. I'm a very visual person. And I would just have, and like Brian and Apostle will tell you, like, I had, like, I still do have a lot of incompleted projects that I've started that I name a part of my creative clutter. Like, because we get another thought, and then that gets distracted, and but wait a minute, that's cute too. Like, I just get all of this stuff, and I was just so busy gathering stuff that I wasn't producing nothing. So then it was like, okay, I got this bubble of things that I want to do, that I need to do, and it's kind of like having water, and you need to take it to a dry place to get it moist, but you're sitting in the ocean. What you doing? You're in the wrong place. You're in the wrong place. And because I'm fighting so many things, creators, we hear things differently, we see things differently. So it's like, okay, I was for actually hurting myself, because I'm like, okay, I need to sit down. I don't need to be doing anything, because people have only always seen me as a singer. There are very few people, and those people that do know, that they were very close to me, know that I write. Like, I write songs. I haven't said, "Ooh, submit this to your choir. Get your group sing this." But I have songs.
You
do I
do.
not, Brian?
Listen, I tried to get her to teach a song to the choir, to Grace and Truth.
Yes, I do. But people have only seen me as the singer. What happens is we get into this box, and we let people do it. Why? For likes and shares, and like this. I told y'all this before too. It's comfortable over here. When you start stepping away, like I'm gonna use Brian as an example. When you say, "Oh, Brian was the singer," you do know that Brian directs too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he can direct. Well, who told him to do that? And God forbid, for those people who have not been really following him on social media, to see him on a stage participating in a play, like who? Brian who? He better go back to directing that choir. We do things for other people's comfortability sometimes, that it makes us uncomfortable, because we too busy trying to like help y'all out. Now I'm uncomfortable. I'm tired of being over here. I don't want to sing just wanna praise you. Girl, you know you can sing that song down. Baby, that song.
Listen. I'm like, I understand what you're saying, because people don't understand. I'm like, I love gospel music. but I also love Rodgers and Hammerstein. Can we do a?
I love me some
Right.
Cinderella, baby. Impossible.
Yes.
I love some
Like-
I love theater. I love the Phantom of the Opera. I love
Oh, love that.
those things. So to your point, Adam, when you talk about that, it's really, I was going to say the same thing that B said. You got to find that you got to find that space where you are celebrated,
Okay.
and not tolerated.
Yeah, and not tolerated. And guess what? Sometimes you might not even always be celebrated. As long as you are able to
Yes.
keep pouring, because I think Elder Amanda Johnson preached that a long time ago. I can't leave empty and you can't leave full.
Wow.
It has to be, the deposit has
Yeah.
to be made in some
That's-
kind of way. We can't be walking around with people's
Yeah.
deliverance. How many people were waiting to see what to do when you don't know what to do? How many people needed to hear the
Yeah.
message in that? But I was still walking out. I was still walking out what to do when you don't know what to do. So that's really why I had to walk it out for myself first. God, I don't want to do that no more. Okay. You don't got to use me as the first line of the testimony. Just putting that plug in. Just putting that plug in there for you, Jesus. But yes, we the concept of like producing and refilling. Okay, all right, I got that out. Now let's go do something else. But we walking around beer belly with all of this stuff. Push, baby, push. And if you are in a space where you cannot do that, get out of there.
Hey, there's
Abort
come on,
mission.
come on.
Go abort mission.
Bree.
I'm just gonna piggyback off of what the both of them said. Definitely have to walk away. I would say for me personally, yeah, it took a minute. It took a minute to be able to walk away, and even in me walking away, I needed to take time for myself. I think that a lot of times creatives don't take time for themselves because we're always so busy doing
No.
for everybody else, that
Oh,
we never
yes.
sit down and reevaluate ourselves, reevaluate our heart's posture, reevaluate anything when it comes down to being a creative. So yeah, I would suggest walking away, taking time for yourself, reevaluating yourself, and as they said, go into an area or go into a place where you're celebrated, encouraged, and not just tolerated,
Yeah.
because it works.
Listen, let me tell you something.
But watch it. But go ahead, B. I was just saying, but watch it. We gotta know wisdom. Sometimes we get thirsty and we start, oh, they like me
Yeah.
over here. It's gotta be balanced. That's all I'm saying. It's gotta be we get thirsty. Yeah, they like me over here. You don't got no good singers. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
that
Right.
singer.
Yeah.
No.
Hey B.
No.
I got a question. I got a question for the actors out there. Okay. And I can ask the question because you are a man of God and an actor. B's an actor. We can all act. Here goes my question, y'all.
Adam.
And I know we gotta go. Because I definitely gotta go. I got a birthday thing in 15 minutes.
Right, because you
Look.
like to drop questions at the end.
Right,
That's like,
right. I got it.
We do this all the
We still got to do
time.
the kids next week. But here's my question.
Yes, we do.
I'm an actor. I
Yeah.
just got picked for a great movie that could open up doors for me. But the movie has some cussing and brief nudity in it. But it has game-changing finances in it. I don't feel like, because of the script, I don't feel like I'm in compromise to do this, but I know my church is going to go crazy. What do I do?
I would just tell, if it was me, I would just tell the church, hey, don't watch that movie because I'm about to be naked.
Thank you.
Yeah, just don't watch it, guys. If you can't handle it,
Thank
you know.
you. Just
watch it. just go ahead and.
I don't think he said you was gonna be naked. There are some
Right. That's what I said.
Okay.
There is some brief nudity.
Like I
Even
would
with the brief nudity, you know,
like
them
would I have
folk
to would I have to do the brief nudity?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Oh,
definitely,
I
especially.
watch it.
Okay, but basically,
They
hold on.
watch
But
Power,
you're
all the
saying
Queen's
even if
Men.
it did have, you would just give the heads up.
Yeah, just give a heads up, like yeah. And I'm only doing that for the sake of me being a leader, being a leader. Now, if I was just a parishioner, I'd be like, listen, if you want to watch, but see, because my thing is that I understand people's convictions, but what the problem is that people also have to understand that when it comes to acting, you're portraying a character.
Right.
It's your responsibility as an actor to build and create this this character and bring whoever that is off of the page and into real life.
Right, but Bishop, what they're going to say.
I don't care what they say. And also,
I was going to say the same
but they're
thing.
going, I know, but okay. But if it's me, right? But if it's me, I'm going, my comeback to what you said, if I was the actor, right? I would say, hold on, but Bishop, even though I'm portraying that role, the parts of me that they're going to see is the real me. So are we still good if you're my pastor? Are we still good if I do this role?
Well, that's what I would tell. That's what I would share. And this is no joke. That's why, as a leader, I would share. Listen, if you're going, Pastor in this movie, if you're going to watch it, you need to know that this is a situation. I think at the end of the day, for that concept, we've over sexualized the body. That kind of goes to what I talked about before. We've over sexualized the body. The body is the body. It is what it is. It's not from. So when you see me again, like I said, you see me portraying a character. It's not about the fact that you walked in and you saw me sleeping with somebody. That's not my wife or whatever like that. It's about the fact that I am an actor. This is my work. I'm portraying a character. Or whatever. So that's the responsibility of the actor. Um, that that's funny. That kind of goes to which my other points of when you have church creatives that are called and working in mainstream spaces. And when you start to now evolve the concept of I use my creativity for ministry, or I use my art for ministry, and then evolve it to my art is my ministry.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Right. It's a process where it becomes the standpoint of I was going to play a clip about that Felicia Rashad. I'm not going to do it now because we need to head out. But paraphrasing what she said was that in this stage of her life, she's come around to the understanding that that her art is her service, and in other words, is her ministry.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So she submits everything that she does to the Creator, to God Himself, and she asks Him to bless it, to anoint it, for it to do the work that it was called to do, which was to inspire, empower, encourage, or to at least be in a space to where someone can forget about their problems at least for a few hours. And it's funny because when I was in the show last year, this time, Memphis, that there was this young man, never get him. His name is Eli. Beautiful young man. He prayed. And when I tell you, I felt the anointing of the Lord, and he prayed, he said, Lord, let this be a service to the people who are going to be coming to this show. Let them let them laugh, let them cry if they need to, let them be able to just get away from their life, even if it's only for a couple hours, and we know that we've done our job. And when I tell you the tears that flowed in there while he was praying, and I felt the Holy Ghost. Now he did, and okay, so I believe that there is an evolving that needs to happen, especially with creatives, not people who just who just create, but people who actually live the life of a creative, who like you said before, who actually consider what they have as holy and set apart. They they're in a space to where they submit their craft, and their craft is now their ministry. My art is my ministry, so it can be taken out of the church, and I can be in the theater, I can be in the opera house, I can be listen, I can be in the club, not singing the Jesus songs, and they still feel the frequency of God. Come on here, Fantasia and Jasmine Sullivan and all them other people who might not necessarily say Jesus in every song, but people still feel healing and strength and an anointing, an authentic anointing.
Yeah.
Even when they're delivering a message that might not necessarily be based in gospel music.
Yeah, because Jesus can go into any environment, any atmosphere. I had to play at an underground club for a brother who couldn't make it. I was a stand-in, and we were jamming. Were none of these songs Jesus, but I had a drunk man walk up to me and said, "Nigga, I could hear Jesus in your music."
Yeah, because you want to know why? Because Jesus is not just God. He's not just a name, but Christ is a frequency.
Yes.
Christ, and I'm, we could, and that'll open up a whole nother
frequencies,
right? But
I
Christ, but Christ is. Go ahead.
I love y'all.
I love you.
Okay.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
But Christ is a frequency. But I'm gonna let you guys go too. Thank you all. Thank you all so much. I appreciate it. This actually goes into what we're going to talk about next week, because as we're talking about our art being our ministry and our service, we're going to be talking about creatives and social justice and creatives as futurists. And guess who I got coming on? I got Apostle Rick Daniels joining us next.
Oh my Jesus.
Oh, I'm gonna get you in the
Yeah,
background.
just don't
get my
even let
popcorn.
me on
Apostle
screen.
Daniels.
No.
And we're gonna set up all our disclaimers.
Please, because Granddaddy Daniels, he just don't.
We love you, Dad.
Oh my God. Jesus, cricket. Okay.
My spiritual father, our spiritual father, is coming on next week to be a part of that, and we're going to be talking about creatives and social justice, and creatives as futurists. So
We got 7 days to get our hearts
Right,
and our spirits.
right. Let's get your mental together.
So we want to see you guys for that. Thank you guys so much. I love you. I love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. Till next time, God bless.